My name is Lauren Bailey. I am the founder of Factor 8, as well as Girls Club and Legacy. You see some of those behind me, and the sales bar. I'm a bit ADD if you don't know that already. We're going to have a good time together for the next 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about top tips. This is under the umbrella of my first company here called Factor 8. I started Factor 8 17, 18 years ago in a class with you, BT. And it was because I couldn't find the training I needed for the reps when I was a sales manager, or the training I needed for a sales manager when I was a sales director. We do 101, 201 level, super tactical virtual selling and sales management tips and tricks. And these are some of the brands we've been happy to work with. And every month we take shots together, which are quick hits, super tactical, fun, free ideas for sellers, sales managers, and enablement leaders. Join every single month. You can sign up for January and February right now at factor8.com/shots. Best practice, watch with your team, book a half an hour afterwards to talk about how you can implement these things. Webinars are fun, but they aren't training. It's not going to stick. People are going to get a good idea, but they're not going to apply it, right? That's what the training comes in. So I'm giving you some of the tips and tricks we sell in the training. I'll always share the resources where you can get the training at a discount. But if you've got zero budget and you're figuring out how to do it on your own, like I used to be as a sales manager, have the whole team watch the rep shot and then talk about it afterwards and practice some stuff. All right. So we're talking today about 2026, right? Like, how are we going to get the most out of it? And here's the theme. You know I'm going to say AI in the next 30 seconds, right? I think that the number one thing that we can do as sellers, as leaders, as human beings is be really freaking crystal clear right now about what our goal is for next year. And the reason for that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go past all that. The reason is that there will be massive change, right? The AI trend line, here we go. I'm just going to show you the rate of change. We've been through this before, my old friends, with the internet. We've been through this before with, hell, I was there for cell phones. And that didn't look like anything like this curve. All right. So the end of next year is we're going to have some shocking things happen. We don't know what they are yet. We also are in the noisiest time in the world. So it's really easy to get distracted and pushed in a billion directions and not have a lot of clarity. And if we're waiting for clarity, we're going to be waiting a long time. So set your own clarity. Is this the year that you want to be number one in sales? Is this the year you want to start your own business? Is this the year you want to move up? Don't wait for someone to come to you because everybody's too goddamn busy to think. Set your goal and take action. The second thing I have to say to make this the most successful is get current, okay? If you've had your head in the sand for a minute or two about what's going on, whether it's around AI or technology, you are starting at the back of the pack, and it is going to be a race. We are all talking about jobs that are going away. We are talking about industries that are going away. You need to be top of your game. You got to decide, are you in or are you out? And then go in and get good, okay? You have to be AI fluent. Get your head out of the sand about that. You have to know where the markets are. You have to know what's happening with sales and your team. And you got to be ready to start upskilling relentlessly. People are talking about how AI is going to take the low-level jobs, and they're not wrong, okay? So if you are a brand new SDR and you're like, I'll figure it out, no big deal. Sorry, 201, 301 will be the SDRs that are left. AEs, same thing, right? Managers, I don't think we're going to see AI replace managers. I just think we're going to see your job get even harder. So if you're still struggling to figure out, what am I doing in this role? Like every sales manager does for their first year and a half to 2 years. You're okay. You're safe here. But you got to speed that up because we've got to be ready for what's coming at us. Does that make sense? So quit playing from behind. If you're wondering about what the trends are, we covered this in last month's sales shot. Here's the free download. So grab your phones and scan this right now. We're talking about where people work and how much they work when they're there. If you want to know what does and doesn't motivate Sellers, what your manager wants, what your leader wants. Who's afraid of AI and why? What are the current trends in sales? What are the current challengers in sales? What do you wish your reps would do? What do leaders wish their managers would do? It's all in here along with the biggest skill gaps. Okay. So get current, and this is your cheat sheet to get it done in 30 minutes or less. But here's one of the answers, folks. I would love to hear in chat who thinks this is true. The studies say AI could eliminate 50 or more % of entry-level jobs in the next 5 years. Give me a yes, no, or maybe in the chat. Is this definitely going to happen with a yes? Our first yes, maybe, yes, yes, yes. I'm going to go maybe on this because I think that 56% is high. I think if this said 25%, I would say definitely. I would absolutely say definitely. People are looking for where they can get more efficient. And what that means to us, folks, is that we're the human side, right? Right now, sales takes over where marketing leaves off. Marketing is internet, right? Virtual. I'm not talking to a human. That's going to go even further. So when they do talk to a human, we got to be ready and we've got to be better. Okay, so let's talk about that. Over 40% of leaders are budgeting for AI tools next year. That's a result of one of our surveys. Okay, not everybody has a line item for skills. So if you haven't budgeted for both right now, my leaders, my enablement leaders, you're starting at the back of the pack. Okay, I want you to equalize these a little bit. Historically, people spend about 4 to 7x on tools versus training. We know the tools are coming, but the people will be the differentiator. So try to equally put plans and budgets and time in place for the systems, right? The efficiency, and for the people and the quality. Because I think that next year is when this is going to start. We're going to have a massive differentiator on our humans. And I got to tell you, thank God, it's time, right? We've had a decade of spray and pray horrible sales tactics. And I don't know if any of you have been like out in the world trying to shop lately, but what is going on with the state of service? It's, oh my God, you are lucky to get helped. And then they want a tip. Don't get me started. This is how I become a crotchety old lady. AI is going to mean human differentiation. Okay. So Amy's put it in the chat, or you can QR code this here. If you don't have best in class training, and I'm here to tell you that 80% of leaders in our survey said they have deep concerns about the enablement and training plans of their people. I'm just pausing to let that sink in, right? If your people development is subpar, you're starting from the back of the pack. I want to talk about that, especially in HR and new hire and onboarding. Okay. When I'll look at SDRs for a moment, before COVID, best practice SDRs were onboarded. That means hitting their quota of somewhere around a meeting a day, right? Something that depends on your industry, blah, 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 blah. But they were hitting their quota within 90 days. And that was after about 5 years of getting really good at onboarding SDRs. That was best practice. COVID, we went the other way. Why? We went virtual, right? And the two big reasons that means we went downhill was, one, I couldn't hear what everybody else was doing, right? So I'm in a vacuum and I'm not getting some of that osmosis learning, right? And exposure. But the second reason was that our training methodologies went to video. And if y'all have met me once, you'll tell me that video does not train. I can't tell you that more than it doesn't work. Okay. So we had to do it when we went virtual, but now it's time to upskill. So if you still feel like your SDRs are kind of taking too long to ramp, right? If they're at 6 months or more, you're in trouble. Same with your AEs. If you're using a lot of video, if you're not in hybrid, these means it's your clue that you may have a bigger gap than ever. Why is that important for next year? Because we're not starting at entry level anymore. Our new hires are going to have to start at mid-level, at 201 and 301, because we're automating this. And not only does that mean we have to start them higher, guess what? They don't have the experience in doing this to learn on the job and grow themselves. It means a big training gap. And here's that slide I was showing you about tools versus training, right? We're going to put a lot into the tools and our people are going to suffer. And that can be tough. And here's that study I told you about our leaders not loving 90% of leaders not confident in the training plan. That was in 2025. We're going to be in trouble in a year with the rate of change of AI between now and then. Oh my God, so much doom and gloom. This is struggling. I'm sorry. Here's one more thing I want to tell you about from our survey that's a big trend and tip for next year. So many of our, especially entry-level sellers right now, are afraid of the phone, right? Tell me in chat if you think I'm crazy, right? Give me a preach or a hell yes if you agree. Tell me if you think that I'm crazy. Type crazy if I'm wrong. But client after client of ours are talking about the lack of phone confidence. And our survey actually told us that too. Does anyone answer the phone? Yeah, it's easier to hide behind email. It's more efficient. I find it, hell, you guys, we all do it, right? I can pop you an email while I'm multitasking on a Zoom I'm not paying attention to, but I can't call you. Yes, people do answer the phones, and fewer people are using calls. It's cool again. It's new again. It's different. And the voice and the human is the differentiator, right? In fact, reps themselves told us this in the survey. This was interesting. 66% said, yeah, I'd rather write an email or a LinkedIn. But ask what actually works to sell and close deals. Only 30% said that channel works. Isn't that interesting? 40% only said they would rather talk on the phone, but they agreed about 70% said that's what actually works to close. So focus on those conversation skills, customer engagement, great discovery, good rapport building. If you're struggling with this on your teams, here's a free guide to some of the ways we build phone confidence. It's what we're known for at Factor 8, right? Getting people excited to actually pick up the phones and talk to people. And that is going to be the difference next year for sure. All right, sales shot number 3. This is a good shot. This is for all of us, no matter where we are. If you're not using AI every day, you're going to be falling behind a little bit, okay? I would love to hear from you. What is one thing you're asking AI the most? If you're using AI every day or every other day, what's the number one way that you're using it? Go ahead and share it into chat. Now, I'm going to, while that's being typed out, tell you the why, okay? If your head's stuck in the sand, there's nothing to be afraid of. I'll tell you what, at the beginning of this year, mine was. It's like, one more thing to learn. Can't I retire before I have to go and get into this? I'm a bit of a late adopter, folks, bit of a technophobe. And now I use it every single day, okay? And so if you're not forcing yourself to, you're not finding new ways to use it. I never would have dreamed about asking it to help me plan the perfect vacation, and it just nailed it. By the way, got the train schedules wrong because it's not always up to date, but I survived. Little adventure in Switzerland. We're seeing it for market intel. I like that. Most leaders are using it that way. Writing content, everybody's using it that way. Meeting transcripts, everybody's using it about that way. Brian Peters, asking it about yourself. You've used it enough that it's giving you feedback. I love that. This is how you'll be behind if you haven't started already. Email replies, I need to get better at that. Joshua Taylor, are you using a tool for that? Type it in if you are. Industry research is huge. Love that. Reading the transcripts, reminding you about stuff. Oh, Amy, you got to teach me how you do that. I love that. Lower airline tickets, I never would have thought about that. Oh, it's Gemini they're using. That's awesome. So listen, if you aren't using it every day, here are some ideas for you, okay? Ask AI about your at-risk deals. Ask AI about pipeline actions. Love this. What have I forgotten to do in my most recent discovery calls? So this probably means you have some sort of tool in place that's more than just conversational intelligence. And most companies are finding and or building that tool. So that's my next shot for you. Train the framework. Okay. AI always has an answer. Jen, I use Grow AI too. Oh, I love that. Tell me where you're at, by the way. I'm loving what they're doing. I'm going to show you what they do next. Train the framework. All right. We know that AI will always give you an answer, even if it's total BS. Do you want a robot telling you how you're doing on sales? My enablement leaders, go get your seat at the table and make sure that you're helping define what good looks like. You also don't want to let just AI coach your people. And if you're not sure about that, think about the quality of the AI emails that you're getting today. Do we want that to be the standard for our phone calls? And I won't even wait for an answer because it's hell no. All right, we're using Grow AI. We've been training the frameworks on our Factor 8 methodology for, gosh, the last 6 months. And here, it just gave me a C on one of my most recent calls. And I love that it's doing it according to some of our best practices. But here's the cool thing. When it connects, like Jen, you're using it, it's connect to your deals in your CRM, and it's connected to your call transcripts, which is great, right? It's going to give you feedback and tell you what you need to do and what deals are at risk. All those questions can be answered by it. But it does one step further, right? In addition to letting you get rid of a different note taker and save that money, it coaches before the call. So look for a tool that's also going to give you some role plays. The rule of thumb is this: let AI coach the deal, maybe even the specific call, but as managers, we coach the reps. Okay? The coaching interaction isn't about winning the deal. The coaching interaction is about developing the person, increasing the engagement, right? Moving their career along. So use AI to spot trends so that you know where to focus to help them the most. Use the reports to pick the one skill you're going to work on together, but then do it together and don't let a robot be the engagement factor. All right, so let's talk about some of those top skills. Listen, we're an enablement company. We're always going to focus a little bit on skills. So what's most important for reps in 2026? All right, here's my top 5. Prospecting, it's going to get more important because of how bad AI is doing it right now. Better personalization, better value add, less spray and pray. Discovery is going to be key. This is the consultative selling. This is the make it a better experience. This is don't get on the phone and get pitched at. Get a consultation to help you. That means demos have to improve. SaaS made it okay for everybody to get the same power demo. In fact, look for demos to get shorter and faster and micro and self-serve. So if you're not doing custom demos right now, go get my class on demos now, because it's going to evolve even further in the future, including recording micro demos for exactly what the customer's looking at, making it available to them, sending it to them because they have to gain consensus internally. Call bridging to prevent ghosting, such a critical skill. My SDR's meetings went up by 1 per week after we taught her call bridging. And then, of course, closing. How did I get this top 5? I'm going to give you 2 of my sources here. In our survey, the leaders told us, where do reps struggle the most? Boom. There it is. Prospecting, upsell, cross-sell, closing. Pipeline velocity, that's what bridging helps fix. And ramp time, we just talked about that too. I love that leaders have their pulse on it. Okay, but now we have to fix it. And then we asked reps, where do you struggle the most? And prospecting wins again. There's closing, discovery, presenting value, and qualifying. So I'm going to give you those skills one more time in case you want to write them down. And then I'm going to give you a couple of resources to help. So at Factor 8, if you're new to us, we work with big companies usually. Okay. And they work with us over a period of 6 months to 6 years and kind of outsource sales enablement to us. We're doing constant training, onboarding, and upskilling. But all of the content that we use in these big contracts is available online in the sales bar. Oh, look at that. I can kind of point in the mirror. And this is how you get it. So Amy's got it on an end of year discount because some people have budgets left over. We have a prospecting certification. We have a closing certification. It's the same training we're using at Fortune 500 companies. You get it for much, much, much cheaper. The difference is it's online only. Now, I've already told you videos don't teach, and it's not videos. This is interactive. It's even better if the manager's doing it with the reps, if the reps are doing it together, if you talk about it, if you coach it afterwards, and we give you those tools to do it in the bar. So check it out if you haven't before. It's a good way to spend some end of your budget and get ahead for 26. I'm going to do the same thing for you now for managers. What are the top skills we're looking for? Oh boy, you guys, managers are going to be the key. Absolutely in 2026. A lot of change coming, right? And managers helping engage reps, managers helping give focus, managers helping people pivot, managers training, managers coaching and engaging. That's going to be the key. So number one I've got is coaching. It is the worst skill of all new managers. It's the hardest one to train and move. And the humanization and the engagement is going to be more critical than ever next year. So the good news is they're going to have tools to help make them more efficient. The bad news is most managers will hit that easy button and let the tool be the coach. So we need to learn how to integrate them so that reps are really being engaged and skills are moving forward. The second one is about developing the team. Now, why do I say that, right? Because humans are going to be the difference. We've got to get a regular cadence into place where reps are working on skill development because agility will be the key next year. We don't know what's coming, but we know it's a lot and we know it's fast. So how fast can you and your team pivot to this is how we demoed last week and this is how we're doing it next week? This is how we defined pipeline last week. Here's how we're doing it next week. One of the big trends is pipeline. We think more and more people will be using AI to do their forecasting. And this is great news. The reason it's great is that managers' inability to accurately forecast has been a top leader complaint for a decade. And of course it is. Managers, you're not making it up. It's because reps have happy ears. I talk to them once, I'm going to forecast the deal. We all have that. And we're too busy selling to go update CRM. So our pipelines are a mess, which means our forecasts are a mess. Perfect place for AI to come in and help us. Okay. AI is there for the calls. They can aggregate all of this data and actually forecast, but only if it's not garbage in your CRMs. So really having a clear definition of your stages, of your ins and outs, of your gates, of what is required in CRM is going to be the key to a really, really great forecast. Managers expect your leaders to get and want better forecasts from you. So get clear as a team on how we're going to manage our pipeline together so that this gets automated correctly and not just fast. Okay. Hiring, the same thing. We talked about how 101 is going to go away, and now we have to hire for 201 and 301. That means we're going to have to change the criteria around how we hire and what we're looking for. Does your team level set on what the KSAs are? Are you level set on what you're interviewing for, how you're interviewing, how you're scoring? Our hiring class helps you build that baseline as a team. That's going to get, just like pipeline, focused on more agility next year. So skills will be agile, hiring will be agile, pipeline will be agile, which also means you have twice as much to do. So I recommend a time management course. Here's what our leaders said. Managers struggle the most. Does this surprise anybody? Read this on screen. Type in what you agree with most. When we asked sales leaders, where do your managers struggle most with their skills? They said, number one, they're still doing the reps job. Coaching was 2, driving accountability, time and pipeline management rounded this out. So that again is why I'm suggesting these top manager skills for 26. And here's your resource. Dun, 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 dun. Manager certification. Online, same thing as the big companies. If you're looking for a bigger and better experience for your people and you don't have at least 5 or 6 managers, join one of our cohorts. Y'all have heard me talk about Girls Club forever. Girls Club is Management 101, the transition from rep to manager. It starts next month and I still have scholarships available. It's a big deal. You can get in on this. It starts in January. Then in July, we're going to do 201 and it's going to be co-ed. So if you're looking for advanced management skills for your team, whether you're in enablement, right, or you're a sales leader looking to outsource this for your managers, we got you. Hit the QR code. All right, I'm going to wrap up with some enablement tips. Whew. If you are joining me from an enablement team, speed will be the name of the game. So up level your new hire quickly, train and build for speed and agility. Create a cadence so that people are already in the practice of meeting and training. So then you can slot in very quickly. Oh, we need a new demo methodology. Oh, we have a new market. Oh, we have a new, right? If you have to start from scratch and get people to actually come into the room, virtual or together, because they don't have that muscle built already, you're going to be behind the track. Okay. So build the muscle immediately and then let the change slot in the topics. Work hard with me, please, my enablement leaders. We are the difference. Let's not let a robot define what good is or take the place of coaching. Double down on those entry-level efforts. If you have to build curriculum still, here is a resource for you. This is our little best kept secret at Factor 8, where we give you the soft copies, where you get all of our training and get to customize it for yourself. No more build versus buy. You also, I'm not even going to talk to you anymore about video not working. Planning ahead, top trends next year, folks. This is again from our sales survey. We do expect longer sales cycles and shrinking budgets, more decision makers. Everybody saw this in 25, right? More savvy buyers entering later in the sales cycle, and ghosting will continue to happen. It drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. So this is what's already happening. AI is going to layer on top of that. My enablement leaders, just help me out, man. Don't let AI take over. We've all screamed at Alexa before. Our bots aren't unfallible. All right, the final thing for reps, selling more in 26. Plan ahead and set some blocks. Every day, time for research and personalization, picking up the phone, and your follow-up. If your schedule doesn't have that already, do yourself that favor. Weekly for upskilling, pipeline management, and goals alignment. Take your shot next year. It's the time to move ahead. For my managers, it's about avoiding burnout, right? Over 62% of managers reported they're feeling burned out, and next year's going to go crazy. So plan ahead, set weekly blocks for a group pipeline. Don't do this one-on-one. You're going to kill yourself. Use AI. Training, peer accountability. Let's get that rolling. Take something off your plate. And quality checks. I'm looking for quality metrics, not quantity next year. Monthly blocks for your deep coaching, your deep strategy, and that performance feedback plus career acceleration. If you don't include it, you'll lose them. My bonus chaser, as humans, let's prioritize our happiness. And that means that growth mindset, progress over perfection, some me time. When I unplug for a full week, I come back a bigger and better person with better ideas. So I also say upgrade your circle. You are the 5 people you surround yourself with. I'm bringing it home with a reminder of all your resources. Here's your discounted training. Here's your free resources. My friends, if you're still working on your SKO and need a speaker, let me come and hang out. I love doing SKOs. I've got a couple in Q1, but I have room for more. Woo, I'm 1 minute over and I'm so sorry. Here's my contact info. I will stay on if you have a question. I'd love for you to follow us on LinkedIn and me. Let's be friends. Reach out, DM me, let me know how I can help you. Have an amazing 2026. Thanks everybody for being here. Happy holidays.